My name is Eric, and I'm going to be talking about something close to me and hopefully interesting to you. People talk a lot about work-life balance, but I've found a way to make it part of the foundation of my life, not just a checkbox on a wellness survey. For me, balance isn't about rigid boundaries or clocking out at the same time every day. It's about creating a rhythm where I can lead high-performing marketing campaigns, collaborate with talented teams, and still explore the world in ways that recharge my energy and spark my creativity. I've built my business and career to travel full-time in a luxury RV with a dedicated office setup that lets me run complex marketing strategies from anywhere. Whether that's a mountain pass, a beachside campground, or a bustling city center. Some days my commute is a short walk from the coffee maker to my dual monitors. Other days, it's a sunrise hike before jumping into campaign analytics. This lifestyle isn't an escape from work, it's an enhancement of it. The fresh perspectives I get from constantly changing my surroundings feed into my creativity, helping me spot opportunities others might miss. And when the workday's done, I can step outside into an entirely new adventure, whether it's a trailhead or a hidden gem restaurant in a town I've never been to before. In short, my life blends the strategic demands of a marketing leader with the freedom of a traveler, and I've found that the two complement each other in surprising and powerful ways. Here's what a day in that life looks like. 6:30 a.m., the quiet before the clicks. The alarm goes off with that gentle marimba chime that Apple clearly designed for people who don't want to admit they hate mornings. I take a moment to orient myself. Which scenic location am I parked in today? This week, it's a lakeside spot in Montana, where the air is crisp enough that my coffee feels like an event, not just a beverage. I lace up my sneakers and step outside for my morning workout. Sometimes it's a HIIT routine. Other days, I keep it simple with resistance bands and body weight exercises. Today, I'm doing lunges along the shoreline, dodging a very curious duck who clearly thinks I'm handing out breakfast. By 6:30, I'm sweaty but awake in the best way. Back inside my RV, I make Greek yogurt with berries, whole grain toast, and my 2-shot espresso. Yes, 2 shots. One to wake up, one to keep my sarcasm sharp for Zoom calls. Then it's 10 minutes of meditation. Not the monk on a mountain kind, but a simple sit with my eyes closed, focusing on breathing. I've learned that if I don't do this, my mind starts the day acting like a hyperactive marketing intern, pitching 20 ideas at once. 7:30 a.m., office on wheels. I settle into my corner office, which in RV terms means a sleek built-in desk with 2 monitors, high-speed internet, and a view most corporate offices would envy. Today, I'm looking out over still water and pine trees, a much better backdrop than a cubicle wall. The first order of business is reviewing overnight campaign data. I'm scanning KPIs, noting which ads are overperforming, and flagging any that need a tweak. This is where my strategist brain kicks in, spotting patterns others might miss. Funny story, last year a client texted me at 6:45 a.m., panicked because they thought a sudden spike in clicks was a sign of a bot attack. I checked the data and realized we'd been featured in a popular TikTok creator's favorites list overnight. I called them back and said, "No bots, just teenagers who think you're cool now." We pivoted the creative that afternoon to lean into the TikTok momentum, and sales for that product line tripled that week. 8:30 a.m., rallying the troops. Time for our daily stand-up call. My team pops in from different time zones, coffee mugs in hand. We go around the virtual room. My paid ad specialist reports that one campaign's CTR dipped slightly. My content strategist beams about a new headline she's been crafting. My designer holds up a thumbnail concept that makes us all laugh for reasons that will never be funny outside this team. I guide the conversation, making sure we're aligned on both today's tactical moves and the bigger strategic picture. Here's the part I love. I'm not just assigning tasks. I'll say, "I'll take that retargeting build after this call," or "Send me that copy draft. I want to tweak it myself." My team knows I'll brainstorm at 8:45 and be deep in campaign implementation by 8:50. One of my favorite collaborative moments came when a nonprofit client needed a last-minute donor campaign. We had 8 hours to concept, design, and launch. I jumped in, wrote the email myself, and had it coded while my designer whipped up social graphics. That campaign ended up exceeding their donation goal by 147%, and they still tell people it was the day the magic happened. 11 a.m., the deep work zone. This is my focused time. No pings, no calls, just me and the work. I dive into audience segmentation for a B2B client in the renewable energy space, building profiles so specific I can practically picture them grocery shopping. I remember a particularly satisfying deep work win. A luxury home builder's ads had been converting at a decent rate, but the leads weren't quite right. I decided to rebuild their lookalike audiences from scratch, layering in demographic and behavioral signals. Within 2 weeks, their sales team was calling me saying, "We don't know what you did, but these leads are ready to buy." I told them, "I just gave Facebook a little personality quiz." Sometimes deep work is about fixing what's broken. Once a client's analytics stopped tracking conversions the day before a big launch. Rather than panic, I re-implemented event tracking manually and backfilled the data. By morning, they had a full, accurate report waiting and not a single lost insight. 12:30 p.m., midday refuel lunch. Today is grilled chicken with a side of local greens from the farmer's market I found yesterday. Eating on the road has taught me 2 things. You can find amazing food in the most unexpected places. If you don't plan ahead, lunch will mysteriously become trail mix and a Diet Coke. I step away from screens entirely, taking a walk around the campground and soaking in the fresh air. Some of my best ideas hit during these breaks, like the time I came back from a walk and sketched out an Instagram Reels series for a client in under 10 minutes. That series ended up being their highest engagement content of the quarter. 1:30 p.m., back in the trenches afternoons are execution mode. Today, I'm building a retargeting ad set for an e-commerce client, testing 2 new landing page variants, reviewing a video script for a SaaS demo ad. One memorable afternoon, a client in the travel industry wanted to run an ad that started with the line, "Vacations are for the weak." I knew they were going for humor, but we reworked it into something cheeky but positive. Some people take vacations, you take adventures. That subtle shift made the ad shareable instead of controversial, and it ended up outperforming their control by 63%. 3:00 p.m., creative collaboration. This is when I meet with our creative team. We review graphics, copy, and video assets, making sure they're aligned with the strategy and brand voice. One of my favorite moments was with a home services client who was convinced video ads wouldn't work for their audience. I pitched a short, funny testimonial-style video, complete with a golden retriever cameo. Not only did it become their top-performing ad for 6 months, but their competitors started trying to copy it, dog and all. We also used this time to experiment. I once told my designer, "Let's make a carousel ad that looks like a comic strip." The client loved it, and the click-through rate was 41% higher than the standard version. 4:30 p.m., the wrap-up. I review the day's progress, send clients updates, and check campaign pacing. If I see anything unusual, I'll set alerts for after hours. Because let's face it, I will check from my phone later. One fun win. A boutique clothing brand saw a sudden spike in sales one afternoon. I traced it to a micro-influencer who'd bought one of their dresses, posted it, and tagged them. Within an hour, we had retargeting ads running to that influencer's audience. The brand sold out of that dress by midnight. 6:00 p.m., off the clock, on the trail. I shut down my monitors, grabbed my hiking boots, and hit a nearby trail. Hiking is my way to shift gears. Today's is a winding path up to a ridge with a view that makes the entire day's work feel lighter. Sometimes, instead of hiking, I'll head into town. One night in Colorado, I ended up at a tiny bistro. where the owner told me they'd been struggling with online orders. By dessert, I'd given them 3 quick changes for their website. 2 months later, they emailed me to say their sales had doubled. The creme brulee was great, but that follow-up made it even sweeter. 10 p.m., the quiet wind down. Back at the RV, I dim the lights and set aside 20 minutes to prep for tomorrow. I review my schedule, jot down top priorities, and answer any final emails. I'll also take a quick look at campaign dashboards, partly for peace of mind, partly because there's nothing better than seeing numbers move in the right direction before bed. Then it's time to unplug. Maybe I read, maybe I watch a show, but by 10:30, I'm ready to recharge, knowing tomorrow will bring new challenges, new wins, and maybe a new view out my window. Conclusion. Every day on the road is a reminder that great work doesn't have to come from a fixed address. It comes from focus, intention, and the willingness to adapt. I can spend my mornings shaping big-picture marketing strategy, my afternoons rolling up my sleeves to execute campaigns, and my evenings hiking a ridge or enjoying dinner in a new town. This balance isn't just good for me, it's good for my clients. The variety keeps my creativity sharp, the travel keeps my perspective fresh, and the freedom to set up shop anywhere means I'm always bringing my best energy to the work. At the end of the day, it's not about choosing between career success and a life you love. It's about building a life where the two fuel each other, whether my office window overlooks a mountain, a lake, or a bustling city street.